They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? It is your boy, the Squirrel. You know, every time I talk about Fred Dibna, a lot of times people say to me, you should check out Blaster Baits. And I was like, all right, and I for a while, I tried looking stuff up from Blaster Baits, and I found like these sloppy clips here, sloppy clips there, nothing really good and defined. It was always kind of yeah, I couldn't find anything good, and I haven't watched anything because I was kind of like, I'm looking for some good clips, and maybe I'll find some down the road or whatever. And then someone sent me an email and said, "Here's a couple, a couple clips of Blaster Baits. I'm just gonna do the ones that got recommended to me in the email, and we'll go from there." I apologize, I can't remember. I've had this saved for a little bit now, so please take a bow in the comment section if you sent these over. This is Blaster Baits, the naming of Knicker Brook. So let's have a listen and see what's going on with Knicker Brook. I don't know the whole deal. I think this guy was literally like a blaster, right? Like he blew up buildings and stuff. Like he was a what do you call it? A gunpowder engineer? I don't know what the hell you call it. I thought that's what he did. And this is I have no idea what this is. Is like they're holding court with him. They're talking. He's remembering back. I don't know. I could be wrong on what he did. I don't even know. I assume since Fred Dibna is where I heard so much about this guy that he was actually a guy who worked like blowing stuff up. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to find out, I guess.
A few weeks after, a gentleman said to me, "Will you come blow up 3 beech trees for me on Saturday morning?" Not an unusual request. I thought, Saturday morning? I've been at it all bloody week. I thought, no, I better get up there. And he lived at the Wall Farm on the Tarpley side of Oulton Park. And when I got there, he said, "I hope you don't mind coming on Saturday morning, Mr. Bates. But my friend's over for the weekend, and he's never seen anything blown up." Well, it gets you here, you know. Oh, poor old sod. So he got me prattling about on a Saturday morning. I said, "Well, there's no charge for entertainment, chaps. Where are they?" And we walked into Oulton Park, left me lummoxing £50 weighted jelly knife. He'd got the bloody shovel and the bag of detonators and fuse. And when we got in there, there's 3 huge beech trees. This was before it was a racing circuit. Big one. There must have been 60 ton of timber in each one. And the rabbits at that time hadn't had myxomatosis, and they'd riddled them with rabbit holes because it's sandy ground there. So I'd only got to enlarge the orify of the rabbit holes with my rabbiting tool and stuff 15-pound weight underneath each one. I thought, I'm not prattling about here on Saturday, going to be 3 bangs in, I'm away from me bloody snapping. And I was giving them my professional patter. How do you want them, chaps? All at once or one at a time? And his friend said, "One at a time, it'll last long, you little devil." He bloody would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I said, "All right, 15 seconds between each one." And as we were saying that, the other one said, "Oh, look there, how disgusting." And Oulton Park, if you've been in the racing circuit, there was a pool, and the first course was shorter than the one it is now. Come all round the pool, about 2 miles, 2.25 miles. And the pool is there, and the stream goes into the pool here, and there's the pool. On the other side of the stream, there's a steep bank of about 1 in 3 with tussocks on where the cows have gone up. Must have been about 25 foot high. And it has a southern exposure, and there was a couple on the side of this bank in what we might term as a compromising position. Now, we could only see his arse and her knees. And that was sunburn, the swine had been there before. Anyway, I thought, this bloke's had a lot of red meat. And he said, "Set him off now, let's see what happens." They come to these things blown up, no longer interested, watching the couple. Of course, my excuse was I'd seen things blown up before. Dirty old bastard. Anyway, let the 3 fuses run off, got behind the big oak tree. Whoom! 60 ton of timber leaps out of the ground, you know, it's a fair bloody thrutch in the ground. And there's a hell of a crash when it lands again. Now, you should have seen this bloke come off. He said, "I think you've ruptured him." He said, "He was on the short strokes."
Oh, boy.
And he's going up this bloody bank. First on 2 elbows and 1 knee. Then he's on 2 knees and 1 elbow, making 4.5 knots, pulling his bloody slacks up at the same time. Left her semi-recumbent. Drawers on the deck, shell pink, we could see him. I thought she'd grab him and run. He starts putting them on a Smoper 1 in 3, on a tussock of lady grass. You want to try it sometime. All of a bloody wobble, gets one down, has a stab with the other, must have gone down the same one. But they were stuck at a knee joint. She was like this here, and the other bloody tree went up. Boom! Well, she come ass over apex down that bank like a shot rabbit. He said, "You've hit her." I said, "I've not touched her." He said, "She'll drown if she goes in the brook." I said, "She will with the bloody legs tied together." Shoulder pulled up 10 foot short of the deep end, obviously with a torn gusset. The rest was like a piece of pink string, straight up at a bare ass it went. Boom, the other tree went up. By God, she could run then like a young gazelle. And disappeared over the brow of the hill. I looked round, and his mate's rolling over on the ground, one of these blokes that laughs inwardly. Doesn't like to give vent to his feelings. Tears running down his face, but he wasn't making any bloody noise. Besides that, he got ingrowing hair. And he's slapping his face saying, come, old chap, have a nice lolly, think of something else, try and get his mind off it. I thought, I'm not giving him the kiss of life. Not bloody likely. I always remember that when I was on point duty in Sandbach. Once, when they had the old police trousers with the fly buttons, I'd been round the back, undone 3 buttons when 2 would have done. And I'd done them up properly. And I must have been thinking about something. And the little old lady in Sandbach, she was 7/8 blind. She said, "Is that you, Constable?" I said, "It is, love." "Will you see me across the road?" I said, "Get out my thumb." Oh, bloody hell. I had to walk across the road. When I got the other side, is it terrible for us reflected? Here's me, 7/8 blind, you've got no nail on your thumb. He's rolling over the ground, he's slapping his brain, trying to get his mind off it. You know, I heard about the 2 nuns that went around the corner. Yeah, a bloke was standing there with something in both hands. One had a fit and the other had a stroke. We got him wheezing after about 20 minutes. And Howard Denton, Howard Wright, they had the bulldozing maniacs at Kelsley, dead now, poor old Howard. He started Open Park, and he rang me up. He said, "Want you in Open Park? Come up to the office. I want to discuss something with you." I went there, and he showed me the plans. He said, "We're going to have a racing track in the northwest of England, Open Park." So we've had permission. He says, "I want you to get round there and blow any trees or tree stumps out the way. We're going to put the dozer in. McAlpines are going to put the tarmac in." I said, "Don't talk to me about Open Park, Howard. And there was a race round there the other Saturday morning." I said, "The young fellow won't be a short head." He said it would be time he got top of that bank. Anyway, so he said, "Just what we wanted. Here's the plans. Lodge corner there, Druidge corner there, Old Hall corner there, or whatever." He said, "That's that bit. We didn't know what." Knicker Brook. And they still call it Knicker Brook. And the BBC used to have a tower up there with one of these bloody cameras on top. Here comes Emerson Fittipaldi, followed by Jagger Short. They're just coming around Knicker Brook. But since they found out how it got its name, they've taken the tower down. They don't mention it anymore. Thank you very much for your indulgence. I'm going to have a drink there. Cheers.
Oh wow! So Blaster Bates is a blaster, but apparently he probably did a little tour where he was telling stories of his past and some of the things that he's done. It's a cute little story. It's a little drawn out, but it's okay because he's a storyteller. So I just did a piece with a storyteller, and I might put these out on the same day. We'll see. Good storyteller. Great. I'll check out the other piece that I got from him. He was entertaining. It was, I love a good storyteller. And people tell me all the time that I tell stories well. And like I'll be on a live show, I'll tell some wacky story or something that happened in the past, you know? So, but I don't know that I'm so good at it, to be honest with you, but I really enjoy others that are. And Blaster Bates it was good. It was a good story. It was he kept it going back and forth, kept the funny part of it, kept you engaged as well. So that was kind of neat. Blaster Bates, he is an interesting man. That's what everybody said. Everybody's like, you know, you like Dibna, he's pretty interesting. Blaster Bates also pretty interesting. So I was interested. Glad I checked it out. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I'll catch you soon. Scroll out. Scroll out. Scroll out.
Cheese and crackers, crackers and cheese. crackers and cheese. Cheese and crackers, crackers and cheese. Cheese and crackers, crackers and cheese.